has its own life going on, whether or not I'm there to witness it. The tide coming in, the crab going sideways about its business. The jellyfish doing what jellyfish do, which is drift beautifully and sting things occasionally. The fish going about their fish day, completely unbothered by summer or me. See life happening with or without an audience, and today I was the audience. See, life doesn't need my presence to be interesting, but it's considerably more interesting to me when I'm in it. See life all around me, see life going about its business in the most beautiful way possible. See life, the crab, the jellyfish, the starfish, fish that looked at me and decided I wasn't worth being scared of, which I found both reassuring and slightly insulting. See life, the best show that summer puts on for free every single day, whether you show up or not. Stood at the edge of the water and watched it for a while before going in. The sea already busy, already full of things happening at various depths. The surface doing one thing, the middle do another, the bottom doing something I couldn't see but knew was happening. See life all the way down, all the way to the parts I'll never reach. See, life doesn't need my presence to be interesting, but it's considerably more interesting to me when I'm in it. See life all around me, see life gone about its business in the most beautiful way possible. See life, the crab, the jellyfish, the starfish, fish that looked at me and decided I wasn't worth being scared of, which I found both reassuring and slightly insulting. See life, the best show that summer puts on for free every single day, whether you show up or not. Went in eventually, the water acknowledging me briefly before going back to what it was doing, which was being the sea, full of life and waves and things that brushed against my leg at various points throughout the afternoon. See life including me for one afternoon in summer, which was more than enough. The sea is the best reminder that there is more life than mine, happening at all times in all directions, down every depths, around every rock, under every wave. See life is just life with better lighting and no ceiling, and considerably more interesting neighbors than I have. See life all around me, see life gone about its business in the most beautiful way possible. See life, the crab, the jellyfish, the starfish, fish that looked at me and decided I wasn't worth being scared of, which I found both reassuring and slightly insulting. See life, the best show that summer puts on for free every single day, whether you show up or not. Whether you show up or not. Better lighting, no ceiling. See life all around. More than enough for one summer afternoon. I saw it coming, which is the most important thing to know about what happened next. I saw it coming and thought, that's fine, that's manageable. That's not that much bigger than the last one. And then it was considerably bigger than the last one. And I was considerably wetter than I'd planned to be at this point in the afternoon, which was entirely my own fault for thinking I knew what the wave was going to do. The wave, bigger than expected, is summer, reminding you that the ocean makes its own plans, and you are not part of the planning process. A wave bigger than expected got me completely. A wave bigger than expected took my sunglasses, briefly returned them, which I appreciated. A wave bigger than expected that I technically saw coming and chose to stay for anyway, which is either very brave or very bad at reading waves. I prefer very brave. A wave bigger than expected, the highlight of the afternoon, honestly. Stood there after, completely soaked, hair everywhere, sunglasses slightly crooked from the retrieval, and laughed, which is the only response to a wave bigger than expected that got you when you thought you knew better. The wave was already gone, out there doing something to someone else, completely unbothered by what it had done to me. The wave bigger than expected is the ocean, keeping things interesting, reminding you that you're a visitor here, a welcome one, but a visitor who should probably pay more attention to the size of things coming towards them, which I will next time probably. A wave bigger than expected got me completely. A wave bigger than expected took my sunglasses, briefly returned them, which I appreciated. A wave bigger than expected that I technically saw coming and chose to stay for anyway, which is either very brave or very bad at reading waves. I prefer very brave. A wave bigger than expected, the highlight of the afternoon, honestly. Honestly. Probably next time. A wave bigger than expected, completely got me. It landed nearby with the confidence of something that owns this beach, which it kinda does more than I do anyway. Looked at me, looked at my snack, looked back at me with an expression that said, I've done this 1,000 times and I'll do it 1,000 more, and you are not gonna stop me, which was true. I was not gonna stop it. I just held my snack slightly closer, and we reached an understanding that involved me not making any sudden movements. The seagull doesn't ask permission to be exactly where it is, doing exactly what it wants, which is either very rude or very inspiring, depending on the day. Seagull standing there like it owns the whole coast. Seagull, which maybe it does. Seagull, that sound that something. It waited, I ate faster than planned. The seagull watched without blinking, which seagulls are very good at. Eventually I finished. The seagull looked at me one more time, then flew off without ceremony to do this to someone else, probably immediately. The seagull has a very full schedule, and I was just one stop on a long coastal route. The seagull lives the life I sometimes think I want. Total freedom, total coast, total confidence about what it wants and how to get it. The seagull doesn't overthink, it just sees something it wants and goes directly toward it loudly, which is advice I'm still working on taking. Seagull standing there like it owns the whole coast. Seagull, which maybe it does. Seagull, that sound that means beach more than anything else. Seagull that looked at me, looked at my snack, made its assessment, and decided to wait, which was somehow more intimidating than if it had just taken it. Seagull, the most confident thing on the beach, and I've seen the crab, so that's really saying something. Really saying something. Full schedule, many stops. Seagull, working on taking that advice. Found it in the shallow part where the water barely covers the rocks, just sitting there being a star, shaped like something the sky lost track of, and the ocean kept 5 arms going in 5 directions, all equally important, all equally the right direction. For a starfish, which doesn't have a wrong direction, which I find very inspiring on days when I can't decide which direction to go. Starfish is the ocean's reminder that you can point in 5 directions at once and still be completely whole. Starfish just sitting there being exactly what it is. Starfish, which is a star that chose the ocean over the sky, and I understand the choice completely. Starfish, orange and still and perfect in the shallow water. Starfish, the thing I came back to look at 3 times, which it didn't notice, or if it did, didn't mention. Didn't touch it, just looked from close enough to see the texture of it, the tiny details of something that spends its whole life on the ocean floor, being quietly extraordinary without anyone asking it to be. Starfish doing its thing in the shallow water while summer happened around it. The starfish has been here longer than some. which makes those 3 visits. I paid it the right number of visits to pay something that patient starfish just sitting there being exactly what it is. Starfish, which is a star that shows the ocean over the sky, and I understand the choice completely. Starfish, orange and still and perfect in the shallow water. Starfish, the thing I came back to look at 3 times, which it didn't notice, or if it didn't mention it. Quietly extraordinary. Starfish, orange and still, the right number of visits. Every other fish had gone somewhere else the moment I got in. Reasonable, understandable, I am considerably larger than a fish and arrived with splashing, which is not subtle, but this one stayed, just floated there, looking at me with the energy of something that had seen humans before and had concluded we were not worth the effort of being scared of, which was both the nicest and most humbling thing a fish has ever done for me. The fish that wasn't scared either knew something the other fish didn't, or cared about something the other fish did. Either way, I was very glad it stayed. The fish that wasn't scared just stayed there looking. The fish that wasn't scared tilted slightly the way fish do when they're considering something. The fish that wasn't scared decided I was fine, which I appreciated more than expected from a fish. The fish that wasn't scared swam closer, which I chose to interpret as friendship and not as the fish just going where it was going anyway. Stayed very still the way you do when something small and wild has decided to be near you and you don't want to ruin it. The fish stayed to both of us very still in the water for approximately 40 seconds, which is a long time to share with a fish, and exactly the right amount. The fish that wasn't scared reminded me that being unafraid of something unfamiliar is its own kind of courage, even for a fish, especially for a fish. The bravest thing in the water that afternoon was not me, it was definitely the fish. Oh, the fish that wasn't scared just stayed there looking. The fish that wasn't scared tilted slightly the way fish do when they're considering something. The fish that wasn't scared. Decided I was fine, which I appreciated more than expected from a fish. The fish that wasn't scared swam closer, which I chose to interpret as friendship and not as the fish just going where it was going anyway. Interpret as friendship. 40 seconds exactly right. The fish that wasn't scared, the bravest thing in the water. There it was, going sideways with complete confidence in a direction that was technically sideways, but was clearly forward to the crab. The crab had no opinion about my opinion of its walking style. Just went sideways with purpose, with intention, with the energy of something that has never once questioned whether sideways was the right way to go. Because for the crab, sideways is the only way to go, and the crab is fine with that. A crab sideways is the most confident thing on the beach. It knows exactly where it's going, even if that direction is technically sideways. A crab sideways, unbothered by everyone watching. A crab sideways, the most efficient route between here and there when you're a crab. A crab sideways stopped, looked at me, continued sideways, which felt like a dismissal, which I accepted graciously. A crab sideways, the best thing I saw on the beach today, which is saying something because I also saw a jellyfish. Followed it briefly with my eyes, then with my feet, which I noticed and went sideways faster, which I respect. I would also go sideways faster if something much larger than me started following the crab, disappeared under a rock. Sideways, obviously the most dignified exit I've ever witnessed. The crab doesn't wonder if sideways is weird. The crab just goes sideways at full speed with full commitment, which is honestly the most useful thing I learned at the beach today. Go your direction at full speed, even if that direction is sideways to everyone else. A crab sideways, unbothered by everyone watching. A crab sideways, the most efficient route between here and there when you're a crab. A crab sideways stopped, looked at me, continued sideways, which felt like a dismissal, which I accepted graciously. A crab sideways, the best thing I saw on the beach today, which is saying something because I also saw a jellyfish. Sideways at full speed. The most dignified exit. A crab sideways. Unbothered completely. It arrived with a wave, and then the wave left, and the foam stayed for a moment, just sitting there on the sand, being foam, small bubbles, catching the light in ways that bubbles have no business catching light, that beautifully then disappearing one by one quietly, the way beautiful things that were never going to last always disappear, which is quietly and before you're ready. See, foam is the wave's way of leaving something behind, even after the wave itself is gone, which is more thoughtful than most things that leave. See foam at my feet disappearing as I watch. See foam, the leftover of something much larger doing its thing. See foam, temporary and perfect and gone before I finish noticing how perfect it was. See foam, which is fine, which is exactly how sea foam is supposed to work. Let it come over my feet, the next wave bringing more cold and light, and briefly, very briefly, everything ankle deep in foam, which is one of the better places to be in summer, ankle deep in something that is mostly just air and water and light. See foam is summer, being temporary and beautiful about it, not apologizing for disappearing, just being exactly itself for exactly as long as it lasts, which is the most honest thing anything can do. See foam at my feet disappearing as I watch. See foam, the leftover of something much larger doing its thing. See foam, temporary and perfect and gone before I finish noticing how perfect it was. See foam, which is fine, which is exactly how sea foam is supposed to work, exactly how it works, ankle deep in light. See foam, temporary and perfect. It appeared from nowhere, which is how jellyfish always appear. One moment just water, the next something translucent and slow, and completely unbothered by the fact that it had no plan, no direction, no particular destination, just drifting through the water like something that had decided existing was enough of an agenda for today, which honestly same. Jellyfish is the ocean's proof that you can be beautiful and dangerous and completely directionless all at once and still belong exactly where you are. Jellyfish drifting past like it owned the water. Jellyfish, which it kind of did. Jellyfish, I kept a respectful distance. The jellyfish kept no distance from anything, just drifted wherever the current suggested. Jellyfish, the most unbothered creature in the sea, and I've seen the crab, so that's saying something. Watched it for longer than made sense. There's something about a jellyfish that makes you stop and just watch. It doesn't do anything dramatic, just exists transparently in the water, pulsing slightly, going somewhere that isn't really somewhere, and being completely beautiful doing it. The jellyfish has no brain, no heart, no bones, and somehow is one of the most graceful things in the ocean, which tells you something about grace that has nothing to do with trying. Jellyfish drifting past like it owned the water. Jellyfish, which it kind of did. Jellyfish, I kept a respectful distance. The jellyfish kept no distance from anything, just drifted wherever the current suggested. Jellyfish, the most unbothered creature in the sea, and I've seen the crab, so that's saying something. Saying something. Pulsing, going nowhere, beautiful jellyfish. Existing is enough. Didn't notice it at first, just that the water was closer than before. My towel was suddenly in a more urgent position than when I put it down. The tide coming in quietly without announcing itself, the way the tide always does, just arriving a little further each time. Patient and certain and completely unbothered by my towel situation. The tide coming in is not asking for permission, not checking if this is a convenient time, just coming in the way it has every day since before anyone was here to have an opinion about it. The tide coming in and everything moving back slightly. The tide coming in and the beach getting smaller in the best possible way. The tide coming in and me moving my towel, then moving it again, then giving up and going into the water with which was clearly the tide's plan all along. The tide coming in knows exactly what it's doing, and it's doing it very well. Watched a sandcastle someone had built earlier meet the tide, which was a whole story in about 40 seconds. The castle standing, then the water around the base, then the walls softening, then the whole thing becoming just sand again. The tide making a point about permanence that nobody asked for, but everyone standing there received quietly. The tide coming in is not asking for permission, not checking if this is a convenient time, just coming in the way it has every day since before anyone was here to have an opinion about it. The tide coming in and everything moving back slightly. The tide coming in and the beach getting smaller in the best possible way. The tide coming in and me moving my towel, then moving it again, then giving up and going into the water, which was clearly the tide's plan all along. The tide coming in knows exactly well it's doing, and it's doing it very well. Eventually gave in to the tide's very clear suggestion that I should be in the water when in. The tide continued coming in around me, which felt like a welcome from something very large and very patient that had been waiting for me to stop resisting and just get in. The tide has been coming in for longer than anyone can measure. It was coming in before the sandcastle, before the towel, before summer, before anyone was here to watch it. And it will keep coming in long after, which should be intimidating, but is actually very comforting. The tide will keep coming in with or without us, which means we might as well enjoy it while we're here. The tide coming in and everything moving back slightly. The tide coming in and the beach getting smaller in the best possible way. The tide coming in and me moving my towel, then moving it again, then giving up and going into the water, which was clearly the tide's plan all along. The tide coming in knows exactly what it's doing, and it's doing it very well. Doing it very well. Gave in eventually. The tide coming in will keep coming long after, which is comforting somehow. Wasn't looking for it, just walking, head down the way you walk on a beach when you're not looking for anything in particular. And then there it was, small and green and worn smooth by everything the ocean had put it through. Sea glass again, like running into someone you know in a place you didn't expect to see them. Sea glass finding me the way it always does when I stop looking. Sea glass again is not the same as sea glass the first time. Sea glass again is a conversation it somewhere else, in a different summer that the ocean remembered, even when I forgot. Sea glass again, and I stopped immediately. Sea glass again, picked it up, held it to the light, the way you always do with sea glass again. Still green, still smooth, still carrying whatever story it had before the ocean made it beautiful. Sea glass again, the first plea was right, let your mood flow, sea glass knows how. Put it in my pocket, which is where sea glass always ends up, on a beach walk, small and smooth and slightly cool from the water. Sea glass again, coming home with me this summer, the way something good always finds its way back to you if you walk with your head down long enough on the right beach. Sea glass is the ocean's best argument for patience. It starts as something broken and ends up as something you put in your pocket and carry home, which is a very good ending for anything that started broken. Sea glass again, proving the point, one green piece at a time. Sea glass again, and I stopped immediately. Sea glass again, picked it up, held it to the light, the way you always do with sea glass again. Still green, still smooth, still carrying whatever story it had before the ocean made it beautiful. Sea glass again, the first plea was right, let your mood flow, sea glass knows how. Sea glass knows how. Put it in my pocket. Sea glass again, let your mood flow away. Something brushed my leg, which is the sentence that ends every car motion afternoon immediately. Something brushed my leg, and I did what anyone would do, which was stand very still for 1 second and then move very fast in the direction of shallower water, while trying to look like I was just casually walking that way anyway, which I was obviously. That was already my plan. Something brushed my leg, and whatever it was is still out there unbothered, while I'm over here in the shallow part, very calm, definitely calm, completely fine. Something brushed my leg and I relocated. Something brushed my leg and I will never know what it was, which is both the best and worst part. Something brushed my leg, probably seaweed, almost certainly seaweed. seaweed. I said yes, obviously that's what I said. It was seaweed. I knew that the whole time. The brief, very brief moment of relocating to shallower water was completely unrelated to whatever brushed my leg, which was seaweed. The ocean has many things in it, most of them seaweed, all of them going about their own sea life, not specifically targeting my leg, which I know rationally and mostly believe when I'm not in the water. Something brushed my leg and I relocated. Something brushed my leg and I will never know what it was, which is both the best and worst part. Something brushed my leg, probably seaweed, almost certainly seaweed, definitely seaweed. Something brushed my leg and I'm going to say it was seaweed and believe that completely for the rest of the afternoon. Definitely seaweed. Completely fine. Something brushed my leg. Seaweed. Obviously seaweed. Swam out further than I usually do, to the part where my feet couldn't find the bottom, which is the part that requires a different kind of trust than the shallow. The shallow has the ground as a backup plan. The deep part has only the water and whatever you brought with you, which today was just me and the decision to keep swimming, which turned out to be enough. The deep part is where the sea stops being something you can touch the bottom of and starts being something you just have to trust. The deep part where the color changes darker, more itself. The deep part where my feet found nothing and I found something else entirely. The deep part quieter than the shore, further from everything that was happening on the beach. The deep part where the jellyfish were, where the fish were, where everything interesting about the ocean was. The deep part worth swimming to every time. Floated there for a while, the way just floating taught me face up, ears under, nothing on my mind. The deep part doing what deep parts do, which is make everything else feel very far away and very small and very manageable from out here in the blue. The deep part isn't scary once you're in it, it's only scary from the shore, looking at it, deciding whether to swim out once you're there. It's just more water holding you the same way. The shallow does just with nothing underneath, which turns out to be fine, which turns out to be exactly fine. The deep part where the color changes the beach, the deep part where the jellyfish were, where the fish were, where everything interesting about the ocean was. The deep part we're swimming to every time. Worth swimming to. Exactly fine. The deep part, just more water holding you the same way. Swam back slowly the way you swim when you're not in a hurry to leave something you'll be thinking about for the rest of the day. The shore getting closer, the water getting shallower, my feet finding the bottom again, which felt different than before. I went and bottom still the same, but me slightly different from a day spent with the sea and everything in it. Back to shore, carrying the whole afternoon with me. The crab, the jellyfish, the fish. Fish wasn't scared, the wave that got me completely, all of it. Coming back to shore, in my pockets, in my hair, in the sea glass I found when I wasn't looking. Back to shore in the sand, one parade feet. Back to leaf fish, salt on my shoulders, the particular weight of a day in the ocean. Back to shore, where the seagull was still waiting for someone with a snack. Back to shore, changed in the small ways that a day at sea always changes you. Back to shore, the best place to end up after the best kind of day. Sat on the sand just past the tide line, looked back at where I'd been. The deep part still out there, dark and blue. The jellyfish still drifting, the crab still sideways somewhere. The sea already continuing without me, which is fine, which is exactly how it should be. The sea doesn't need me to stay to keep being the sea. Back to shore is not the end of the sea, it's just the end of my part in it today. The tide will come in, the starfish will still be there. The fish that wasn't scared will find someone else to not be scared of. And I'll come back next summer and the summer after that, because the sea keeps being worth coming back to. And I keep being someone who needs to come back to it. Back to shore in the sand, wonder a feeling. Back to shore, salt on my shoulders, the particular weight of a day in the ocean. Back to shore, where the seagull was still waiting for someone with a snack. Back to shore, changed in the small ways that a day at sea always changes you. Back to shore, the best place to end up after the best kind of day.